What's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for me. This is Drinks with JD.
First to show that, I'm all the way down with the culture. I was raised here and there,
Yeah.
My family's all about that,
Yeah.
And also, there's songs that I have where there's people that don't speak English that they don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, I want to do songs where you understand the message, and there's songs that I have that are in Spanish that are similar to songs that I have in English.
Yeah.
So I don't translate a whole song into Spanish, but I'll do the same theme or the same topic, because I want, the Spanish audience to also listen to my perspective on certain issues.
Yes. No doubt. Do you think in the future you'll have a all Spanish album?
I've been thinking about that. Maybe not an album, but maybe an EP or something. Maybe 6-7 songs, all in Spanish.
Yeah, no, and it also kind of reminds me of, like, let's say Cypress Hill, where they'll release an English album that they already wrote, and they'll release it in Spanish completely. Right. Or let's say even Mr. Shadow did that. One of our San Diego hip hop legends. Like he even did that himself. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And hopefully you'll be able to release that just to get, I guess, a different perspective. So that's pretty cool, man.
No, yeah, I definitely reach out to people that don't understand English and listen to my message in Spanish.
No doubt. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So from listening to your music catalog, right? I noticed that, or anybody who listens to your music catalog, we all notice that you're an amazing storyteller, right?
Thanks, bro.
You capture us with how you write, and just the story just intrigues us as the listener, right? Have you ever thought about writing books or screenplays?
I have, bro. Good question. I started writing one, and I lost the files on that laptop I had. It was years ago. I had an idea. I was writing a screenplay called Viernes.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was like a play on Friday.
Of course, Friday.
A play on Friday.
Yeah.
But it was a little different, I was trying to mix up like a Sopranos Friday type of deal with God as the main theme, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, it's still in my mind. I want to finish a screenplay called Viernes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, I definitely want to write something like that.
There you go. Okay. All right. So speaking about stories, right? There's a song that you made called Pedophiles. Yeah. Right, and it's a story about Jonathan Sellers and also Charles Keever, right? And you go in depth in the song, right? And you tell the story. Can you please talk about that?
Yeah, it's a deep song for me.
Yeah,
it's the third song I wrote on that topic. Actually, I've lost a couple of them over the years because when I was doing underground stuff. Mm-hmm. So Jonathan Sellers was in my class when I was in 4th grade.
Yes.
And, he was tragically killed in a very horrific, nasty, terrible way.
Yeah.
And back then I wrote a poem about it, actually. When I was 9 years old, I wrote a whole poem about it. And wrote a song about it when I was 13, and then 16. And then Pedophiles I wrote when I was 23 years old. And it was something that I did because I also did a lot of research on the topic when I was taking some college classes. So I found out a lot about how there's not really a budget. There's more of a budget for seatbelt tickets and stuff like that than there is for pedophiles getting caught up. So that song's real passionate to me, and I wanted to write something, hey, we didn't forget, and something needs to be done, and I've actually done another song after that.
Yeah.
It's called Blue Skies from Pain.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that one's more of a tribute for his mom and for them as well. Pedophile sounds more mad. I sound pretty, upset in the song. Mm-hmm. And Blue Skies from Pain is like the aftermath, like after all these years, like, hey, this is still going on. Catholic priests have been caught, teachers have been caught, pastors have been caught, fathers, mentors, like I say in the song, teachers, husbands. Mm-hmm. It's a pandemic. It's something that a lot of kids, you don't know what's wrong with them. A lot of them, they're being raped. Yeah. They're being molested. They're being put in situations where they're never going to say anything, and their lives go to crap, and it's all because of the pedophilia problem.
No.
So for me, it's always been important to speak on it. So I've done plenty of songs about it. Pedophiles is only one of them. The Pedophile is probably one of 5 songs I've done on the topic. Mm-hmm. and I'm actually writing one now on the same topic.
Yeah.
So I keep going with it. You know, songs aren't hitting yet, but I know eventually, you know, the message will get out there.
And I also saw that you posted recently how I believe it's about to hit the 30-year mark for when that crime, the original crime happened.
Right.
Yeah.
His mom called me. Jonathan's mom called me about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, we're about to hit the 30-year mark, and I'm doing a commemoration of their death. Can you come do a couple songs for us?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen March 27th.
Wow.
On the same bike path that you know they took before they were killed.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor should be there of Imperial Beach, police department, fire department. It's going to be a really good event. They're going to release doves and, you know, remember his life and remember Charlie's life,
Mm-hmm.
and a commemoration to their mothers. So it's something that we're going to do March 27th this year, you know, remembering their lives.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, that's coming up, bro. It's coming up about a month, a month from now.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah. Well, it's very commendable that, you know, you highlight, you know, that topic, because sometimes, you know, well, it's not in the media as much, you know, it doesn't get covered, because obviously, you know, if you really look into the numbers of how many kids go missing, or, you know, crimes against children,
right.
You know, it's crazy. You know, it's a crazy thing if you really pay attention. But
there's hundreds of thousands of kids that go missing.
Millions, you know what I'm saying? As in, like, a lot.
Millions worldwide for sure.
Yeah.
The United States, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
That never get solved.
Yeah.
And it's never in the media. They only pinpoint a case here and there, but it happens every day.
Yes.
And I think it's only getting worse with social media. Now these kids have access to all these monsters.
Of course.
And it's still something that's not being addressed properly. You know?
No doubt, no
so
doubt.
I'm gonna keep speaking on it.
No doubt, no
as
doubt.
much as I can.
Yeah, no, and thank you for doing that, for highlighting that, especially for our children. You know,
thank you, bro.
You go, you know, use your art, and I hope people also see this as well. So, you know, they could also, you know, look at your catalog and see exactly what you're highlighting as well. So,
right.
So rest in peace to those children who you're speaking about, and you know, let's just, I guess, we keep praying and keep doing what we can to highlight that, so we could at least stop what's going on.
Keep our children as safe as we can.
No doubt, my brother, no doubt. Now, also in your music, right? Whether if it's old or new, the most recent, you also have a common theme, and that's Jesus Christ, right? And I wanted to ask, can you just please share how good God has been to you?
I have many stories, bro, where I've prayed to God and gotten direct answers. You know, like very, very, like, no coincidence, you know?
Yeah.
So I speak on Jesus a lot because of my mom raised me that way, you know?
Okay.
She always say, that's the most beautiful thing you did, is to teach me that there is something out there. And to believe that there's not is more absurd than to believe that there is.
No doubt.
In my mind, you know? And so I prayed to God many times and gotten direct answers. Sometimes it's immediate.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's way after, where you're like, sometimes it's so immediate where you're like, dang, you know, wow, I can't even believe it.
Of course.
And sometimes you pray for something and you don't see any response, and then 2 years later you go,
that's what it is.
Nah, I see why you did it that way.
That's
you know?
right. Like, he's preparing you for your blessing.
Right. So
he's preparing you for that answer.
Or a lesson, a blessing,
right.
or a lesson.
That's right.
So sometimes it comes way after, and it's no coincidence, you know.
No doubt.
When you really put it together, there has to be something out there, you know. So that's why I keep it an important theme in my music. Not a theme, an important topic, you know, important truth.
Yeah, we all need Jesus.
Yeah,
so
important truth that there really is a God, and
Amen.
And we really need to communicate with God.
Exactly.
If we don't, then we're not going to get any communication back, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, and also what we all know, you know, is that the only thing that could travel through dimensions, right, is prayer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the most powerful thing, is to just pray, and you know, you're praying to Jesus in the spiritual realm, and obviously, you know, we don't live there. You know, we live in this world, and we still get our blessings that He allows us to have, especially if, you know, we stay in His Word, and we continue to, like you said, communicate with Him.
Right. If we're obedient, it's just like when you want your kids to talk to you. You know, sometimes you know what they want. You know exactly what they want.
Yeah.
But you want them to ask you, And not only that, you want them to be obedient to you.
That's right.
So that you can hook them up. You know, so the same thing with God. You know, He knows what we want, but He wants us to go ahead and ask Him, you know, and not only that, but to be obedient to what He wants us to do. Because if we're not, then He's not gonna hook us up.
That's right.
He's gonna save us sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're gonna keep doing what we want to do.
Yeah. Because we're human, right?
and right, yeah, and we're not disciplined sometimes,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But He's always gonna show you, hey, I'm here, you know, somehow.
Of course. Jesus always loves you, no matter what.
Yes, sir.
You know, just have a good relationship with Him, and just, I mean, no one's perfect, but at least let's try to keep walking in the good, on the good path.
No, definitely. There's been many times in my life, bro, where I've prayed and been like, wow.
No doubt. Yeah, I completely understand. Well, hey, God is good, and it's awesome how you continue to highlight Jesus Christ in your music as well.
Thank you, bro.
No doubt.
Thanks to my mom and my grandma.
Shout out to Mama. Shout out to Mama and Grandma.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. So, what does it mean to you to be an artist from San Diego?
Day.